When you were born, the doctor turned around and slapped your mother?
You son of a motherless goat!
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress.
Hey, laser lips! Your mama was a snowblower.
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerve herder.
Recorded in the HFTI podcasting headquarters.
I'll use small words that you'll be sure to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon.
They're just two regular nobodies that can argue about anything.
I don't like your jerk-off face, I don't like your jerk-off behavior, and I don't like you.
From music and movies to daily life and terrible people. You're listening to Here for the Insults.
What did you say?
I'm sorry. Actually, what I said was...
Hosted by Big Matt Fisher and Sean Deakins.
Why you keep me waiting so long? Yeah, waiting round here for way too long. Half the day they came and gone. Guess I'm going to have to wait some more. Don't wanna wait no more. Why coming up to call my Lord?
Bienvenido, and welcome to another episode of Here for the Insults podcast. I am Big Matt Fisher. Across the bar from me is my co-host extraordinaire.
Esteemed.
I don't like esteemed.
I do.
I'm not going to say esteemed. I like co-host extraordinaire is not good enough for you.
Only if you holler it out like that every time.
Sean
Co-host
Sean,
extrauraordinaire.
yeah, I can Bruce Buffer you. That was Michael Buffer. That was the
Sean Deakins.
My favorite part of Bruce Buffer is when he like turns real quick.
Yeah.
And like points at like, you know, whoever. He's like, fighting! Like, and he does, and I always like that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Michael Buffer was the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy.
Oh, let's get ready to rumble. I like to work it. I like to work it.
That must be fucking something else to be like, I got rich and famous for saying a catchphrase in front of boxing matches.
Millions of people listening around the world.
Yeah, because it was that, and then, and he was on WC.
His whole family does shit like that, don't they?
I guess. I mean, his fucking brothers on top of the world in fucking UFC for nothing. Like, he didn't have to have any talent to do that. Really? I mean, I know that Bruce has got like a podcast and all that kind of shit too.
Well, I think what he did was he trademarked that statement.
Yeah, but his was different than Michael Buffer. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he trademarked that statement. That's why they have to use him for all those different things, because they like that. I guess they like that catchphrase. Do you need to waste all the money on that guy just to say that?
It's pomp and circumstance. You know what I mean?
But you're not there to watch him.
Pyro and ballyhoo, as they call it.
You're there to...
It makes the event seem bigger than what it is.
But you don't need him.
You have all that lead up, and then Tyson knocks the guy out in fucking 20 seconds.
Right. You don't need him there for the Manny Pacquiao fight or the fucking Mayweather fight.
Maybe you do.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he really brings the fans. Anyway,
yeah, no, it's a tradition thing. Like once
I get it.
If you have that, and it's also going to be live on pay-per-view, you're going to be if it's worth a shit, you're going to be swimming in so much money that paying him only just kind of makes it feel more official.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And Bruce has got his own catchphrase too, right? Oh, it's time. Yeah, that's because that's his name of his podcast. Because he'll be like, it's time. And yeah, it's bad. But dude, even if you think like, oh, he's just trying to ride his brother's coattails. Like he's paid out the ass now for do the same fucking shit.
Somebody give me some coattails to ride on,
please,
and I'm gonna ride them.
I'll fucking surf those bitches, fucking
got that shit
style.
Right.
Like by all means, like I was hoping to maybe chum up with some of the bands on a big bill that I just played on, but
yeah,
no, they're nowhere to be found. Hiding. Like everybody's like, yeah, say hi to Phil from All That Remains for me. Like I didn't see that motherfucker anywhere until he was going on stage.
Yeah.
Like, and I was actually told by someone there that their bus was there, but they weren't. Like, they got cronies to fucking set all their shit up.
Of course they do.
And like text a sound check for them when they're not there.
Right. They got people to
they just show up. They show up when it's game time, and then they go right back.
Show up, rip shit, Get lit,
they were,
get the fuck out.
Anyway, you were on a whole radio thing during the intro.
Yeah, I'm gonna
finish that.
I'm gonna wrap
and then we
this
have
up.
a couple other spots we're gonna talk about, but we'll get to that.
You'd asked me about Barstool Sports, and the only thing I'll give you the quick 2-minute rundown of. I don't listen to a lot of Barstool Sports.
I don't know any fucking thing.
I watch Dave Portnoy. He's the head of it all.
There's Mike Portnoy too. He's a drummer at Dream Theater, I think.
So he does the pizza reviews that John and I like. So
I see the video.
The nice thing about what they did is he literally was like taking subscriptions for a newspaper version of Barstool Sports back in the day, walking around, getting subscriptions, delivering papers, and he's turned it into this conglomerate that it is today, which is really inspiring.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I have to look more into it.
And what he does is he's completely always, all the time honest on his show and all the shows. There's like 10 shows that are on Sirius now. There might be more than
about
that.
what?
Everything.
Everything. Sports?
No, it's crossed into a bunch of different things. And the thing is they will say whatever they want to say, so I give them some credit there. And they say, basically, they've got the biggest balls in the industry right now. Because they say, if you want to come at us because we said something that you didn't like and you want to dig something up, be careful. Because we dig harder, we dig longer, we will find where you fucked up.
Where's that Alex Jones drop? You're very foolish.
Right. But that's what they will do.
Yeah.
And so when one of these crazy liberals comes and says, hey, you can't say things like that anymore, and we found this on this person in your organization, they say, okay, fuck you. And they go and they dig up and they dig and they dig and they will find the dirt and they will bring that fucking person to their knees praying for forgiveness. And that's what I credit them with.
Okay, but are you talking about like just random ass Twitter people?
No.
Like
I'm
people
talking
like...
about when somebody with some actual clout
Okay.
says, and they try to like start spinning news stories about Barstool and stuff like that, and then they will go and they will dig. I mean, the fucking guy, Dave Portnoy, not even allowed in the fucking Super Bowl, gets taken out every year. Not allowed in.
Why?
Barstool's not allowed to do any media for the NFL.
Oh, they don't want to touch them.
Goodell doesn't like Barstool because Barstool will tell you how shit is.
Oh, plus they're like a rogue network. They're not like on the payroll, like or whatever. You know,
they don't. He's the
everybody
one
else-
that came up with the blue shirt with Roger Goodell on the front with the red nose, I think.
Because
they said Roger Goodell's a clown.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor.
anyway,
Do me a favor because I'm really interested in all this stuff that you're talking about because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
If you got send me some links,
Okay.
if you remember, or about with them digging up on people and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start getting. They have a podcast.
They're
It's like a whole
on,
network
they're
of
on
shit,
Sirius.
right?
It's a whole bunch of shit. And like I said, I don't do a lot of sports stuff.
Not too much because I used to, but it
But
was just
following some of the stories, like Dave right now, he just told Deadspin, he was like, I want to debate against all your people. You can huddle up and answer, and you can take my brain on because I'll debate you because I know more than you. And he's like, they just fucking go head on against anybody. They don't care. And Deadspin sucks anyway, but
I know the name, but I don't really know much about it.
congratulate Barstool for being honest and they just do what they want to do, man.
I'd have to dig into that whole story of just like that whole startup thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, and it's like inspiring. It's like because
It's like this little podcast.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how much traction Barstool garnered in 1 year.
Listen,
This is episode 60, by the way.
I know. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Happy 60.
Don't say I know before you hear what I have to fucking say.
We should, I mean, hey, if you want to go the extra mile with this, I'm down. I don't know what the fuck that would entail, but it definitely would have to we'd have to record more often, I would think.
Yeah, no. How about we get some stickers?
Yeah, I still haven't gone by. I did talk to him last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I was like, dude, because it's totally, it's on me now.
At this point, it is.
Yeah.
Originally, no.
Yeah, but, and it's, dude, I even had talked to him and said what day I was going to, and I completely forgot about it that day until it was way later, and I was already here in a couple sheets to the wind drinking. I was like, dude, and he's like, that's no big deal. And I was like, okay. And then I hit him up, and I was like, I asked him if he was going to be around in the early afternoons. Actually, what if he's out of a shop when we get done? You want to go there, take a ride? Take a ride over there?
No.
We can go strong arm them stickers from him.
We don't need to. We already paid for them, and they're done. They're probably just sitting there and waiting to be handed to somebody if he hasn't already printed on the back of them for somebody else.
I will get them today. And
I would like maybe 10 of our 15 fans to start defacing public property with them.
Okay. I'll throw a couple on our like merch table.
Yeah, give
the
them
shows.
away.
I just I'll just
Don't sell them.
No, I'm not going to. I'll be like, hey, this is my podcast. Go check it out.
Yeah.
You know?
I want everybody to know that I threw $100 in the toilet to give these out.
Yep. It's I had to like stuff it in there with a broomstick, but yeah.
So back to your show with Attila the Hun.
I'll finish off with that.
Okay.
We were yapping off the air.
Yeah, chatting a little bit about grandmas, old people, assisted living centers.
Yeah, stuff like that.
How we don't want to be alive when we're 75 and can't wipe our own ass.
Yeah, and that like the whole like the advancement of some sort of assisted suicide being a thing. I'm all in favor for, because like if you should. It's your
your prerogative.
Well, how free are you if you ain't free to fucking take yourself out? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you are. You're free to go buy a Remington and suck start it.
Yeah, I know, but you should be able to go comfortably if you're paying a doctor. And if your life is going to be a just shit show of suffering and misery until the day you finally die, I feel like you absolutely positively should have the option to say, hey, this is the day I'm going out, and then pick that day and go comfortably without, having to worry about people scraping your brain fragments off the wall.
You just put your pillowcase. Put a pillowcase over your head, and you just put one in it. You don't use a Remington. You'll be everywhere. You will be everywhere. Just get a
you
9,
make it very uncomfortable
get
with
a 9mm.
how much detail that you cover sometimes.
And the medulla oblongata. It's a 2-inch box right underneath your nose, your mouth. That right there, brain stem.
What the fuck?
And that's it.
There's probably people coming in and out of the fucking house right now.
Your mother-in-law's up there racing her scooter around.
A little bit of inside baseball.
It's kind of how that whole conversation got started.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But it was going back to that, and then I started talking about my grandmother.
We also have a mailbag to get to at the end.
No shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You look real excited about it.
I'm not.
So.
Actually, I am.
Okay. So anyway, I just haven't spoke about her in a while, and when I was the age of 4, my grandmother moved in with us. She was living by herself in like this in this apartment up in Ohio, in Cleveland, where my father was originally from, and she would have people come check in on her and all that kind of stuff. And one day, like, she fell, and someone was there at like 4 p.m, and then no one came back over until like noon the next day, and she like had just been laying on the floor that entire time.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and it was just basically at that point they kind of like made the decision like, hey, she can't live by herself anymore.
Now, real quick, what's funny is that when I was 14, my stepmother, who we all know and love, she rolled her ankle in our backyard.
She's a spanker, right?
She's the spanker.
Yeah.
Serial spanker.
The serial spanker.
She rolled her ankle in our backyard at like 11 in the morning, and I found her in the backyard.
Were you chasing her to like, was she chasing you to spank you?
No, I was at school. So she just laid out in the backyard playing on her arms.
How long was she laying there?
Until 3:30 or whatever time we get home from middle school. 11.
So she like 4 hours?
Oh, she was out there. Help! 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 And by the way, this is a 42-year-old woman. Fucking almost off herself, rolling her ankle. She rolled her ankle. She's furious. This was like before cell phones.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody had a cell and just laying in the backyard.
Dude, you know how
all the neighbors at work, nobody home.
Yeah. I was gonna say like that's work hours.
Laying
just out there yelling
next to the pool because we had septics and stuff, and I think there's a little like ground, like there's a little hole building, and she rolled her ankle in the hole, and she couldn't move, couldn't do anything. I love it. It's so funny.
Dude,
it takes me back to the good old days.
I know, but then you think about that, and it's like before cell phones. Like, how many people like would just have something like that happen and just lay there until they died because they couldn't go anywhere?
Yeah,
that's probably happened a bunch. Now you don't go. I would have my phone on me. I could just call 911. Anyway, or call somebody that can at least pick me up. I don't think I'd call 911. Because I do not want to fucking
you don't want that bill.
I don't want to pay for that bill. Someone come pick me up and take me to the hospital, please.
Right.
Isn't it wonderful being an American? So Anyway, so my father had 2 brothers and a sister that lived in Cleveland, and none of them took her in. Well, I don't think that his sister had like the living situation that she could. But we went up to fucking Cleveland, scooped her up, brought her back down here to fucking Pasadena, Maryland, and moved her in with us. And when she first moved in, she was mobile. She would walk with a cane. I barely even remember that. I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, but I do have memories of watching her walk with a cane. And then she had like a series of strokes, serious ones. And it was, I think she had lived with us for 6 months. I think that's what my mom told me. And then it was boom, boom, boom.
Right.
With
That's tough.
Yeah. And I mean, she lived, she was, fine, but she lost the use of her legs. Like, the strokes had damaged the parts of her brain that would carry out the motor the motor functions of her legs and one of her arms.
Right.
So, what in the fuck is going on in my house? This dog,
I'm telling you, scooter races. It's fucking Mario Kart upstairs.
Oh, dude, I did say I was going to get a little squeaky horn just as a joke, but I never did.
Fucking just go up there and fucking throw turtle shells at her. And
I'm going to go up there and start fucking whipping some ass up in this house if it don't fucking my dog don't get quiet. So it was just at a very young age that my grandmother was bedridden, and we had like a Hoyer lift, which is basically like
the stair thing.
No, it's like a mesh vinyl, and you can put hooks around it, and it's underneath of you, and then you like have a pump, and it'll lift you up, and then you can like move them and then lower them into like a wheelchair.
That's what they need for me when I'm 700 pounds.
Yeah.
The industrial one.
Well, it's because I mean she was overweight, but being that she had no motor functions of her legs and stuff, like if you tried to actually pick her up, it was a nightmare because she was straight dead weight.
Right.
Even just moving her around,
Right.
But I mean, we would get her up, put her in the chair, sit her on the front porch and stuff. She'd sit out there and drink her fucking tea and watch nature go by. She had a bit of dementia. So some days she was on point, some days she was 20 years in the past. Some days I would come in, she would call me Joe. Well, Joe is there's 2 Uncle Joes. This is my Uncle Joe on my father's side, not the one that comes over here and watches wrestling with me. But she would call me Joe.
Okay.
That was her youngest son. And then she would call my dad John, who was her husband, who had been dead for like 20 fucking years. And like so that, and then like in the middle of the fucking night, you would hear her like, because it was an ongoing joke, like when I had friends of mine stay the night and stuff like that
Right.
they would always crack jokes. John! It'd be 2 a.m. Grandma's in there hollering her ass off. John! Come take me upstairs. And I mean, you could go, my mom go check on her or whatever, but she was, like I said, she had dementia, so there's no like reasoning. You can go in there and like check on her, but she, she would just be like, take me upstairs.
Right.
Like, you are upstairs. Like, there is no more upstairs. There's an attic. Would you like me to put you in the attic? That's what we would say to her eventually.
Right.
Like, after a while, people were like, oh, that's mean. Well, you weren't there when she was fucking waking you up every fucking night. So it got to the point, like, me and my mother were.
I mean, it also injects some levity to the situation and just helps everybody. I mean, you joke about things like that. It's like
you have to make light of the situation because it sucks.
After people pass, you tend to, after your mourning period, then you can make fun of them again and stuff like that.
I'm not trying to go in here and make fun of my grandmother. She was, this was what I grew up with. It was no fault of her own. It was just
Right.
that I didn't even really have like much of a real legit relationship with her because it was hard to, with her being with her dementia and all that. It's just hard, and I just remember like you could sit that or sit her in front of the TV and put on Lawrence Welk. Remember we talked about Lawrence Welk, I think, once before.
I don't remember. But I mean, it survived 2 massive strokes. That's impressive. Luke Perry was 51. He died of a stroke.
Yeah, my grandmother was in her 70s.
Yeah.
But you had the John thing.
Right.
All right. Also, we had a nurse's aide that stopped by every day that I guess bathe her or whatever. I don't know. I stayed out of the way. I didn't get involved in any of that stuff. But I remember I was over the house once and had friends over.
I saw my grandfather's ball bag one time, and I'll never forget it.
I just remember grandma shit herself, right? and I had friends over.
Like, that's the point when I'm just going to
Like,
off
I was
myself.
like, you know, because I was only like 10 or 11. And, like, my parents weren't home. I guess I was old enough to, like, where they were, you know, they knew I wasn't going to burn the house down. And I just had friends over. And I remember, like, we just left because, like, the whole house smelled like just straight shit.
Yeah.
And
rough.
I let my mom know. But I mean, there wasn't no fucking way in the hell I was going in there and dealing with it. You know, that's a rough way to go. I mean,
You just get on the horn, you call Stanley Steamer, and you leave it.
it was just it's weird. It like fucks with you when you're younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, obviously, like, who am I to complain? I'm not the one that's bedridden. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't help it, but. It was just weird. Like, I remember my buddy Josh used to always be like, he'd see me at school, John, you yelling at me because he would like he'd stay the night and hear her in the middle of the night. Like, it was kind of fucked up. And like that, one other funny story. my mother left her on the porch in her wheelchair, where like you know, and she would just sit out there, like, I mean, just. You know,
she didn't try and escape or anything.
No, she can't move.
So like, I'm the fuck out of here.
No, she would you just put her out there, and it was a nice day out. You know, give her some scenery.
That sounds so bad. I just put her out there. I just put her out there on the porch.
No, she'd be fine. She would talk to the neighbors.
I get it. It just sounds funny to say like I put her out on the
porch.
porch.
She left.
So she did try to escape.
No, my mom leaves.
Oh, your mom left. Okay.
Yeah, she left her there by herself, and my mom had me with her.
Okay.
So grandma was out on the front porch.
She's
all
fine
alone.
on the porch.
Yeah, and then a horrible thunderstorm rolls in.
Oh god!
Like,
was it a covered porch?
Yeah,
okay.
but still, like my mom in like a panic because my aunt didn't live too far away. Calls my aunt. She's like, "Can you go put her in the house?" Like, because I mean, it was one of those like summertime.
It's like
storms.
you're talking about an animal. Can you put her back in the house?
That's kind of.
Can you bring grandma in?
Like,
hey Joe, bring grandma in.
Yeah, like it's like those memes where you're like, we get to the point where you talk about grandpa right in front of them. Yeah, it's kind of like that's how it kind of winds up.
Yeah.
So. But it was one of those like summertime storms where it's like, holy shit, where did this come from? And when it hits, it's like lightning, thunder, sideways rain, the fucking wind's picking up, and my
grandma's just sitting
there.
And
my mom calls her fucking sister, my aunt, and my aunt goes running over there. She said like she pulled up and like grandma's all fucking wet. There's the rain coming in there, and she's just on the front porch fucking screaming, "Help!" And that's so fucked up. But God Almighty, I was like, even my mother felt so bad, but like we were both like in tears laughing about it.
That's funny.
Because Aunt Barbara pulled up, she's like, ah! Just like, oh dear Jesus.
That's funny.
There was another time where they put her on the, bathroom, like, you know, they took her in there. Sat her on the toilet right over, and like I don't think that she was completely like as bad as she wound up being, but either way, she wound up falling off the toilet sideways with her head against the bathroom door.
Oh God!
And my dad couldn't open it to put her back up, and then like I had to climb up the one side of the house, and peek in the window, so I. With my grandma's naked ass.
You fucking peeper.
No, my dad was like, he was like picking me up and pushing me up there. He's like,
can you see grandma?
Well,
can you see if she's breathing?
No, he was trying to see where she was laying exactly because he was gonna have to sawzall the door off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she was leaning right up against it. He had to like sawzall parts of it off so he could get her out.
Can't you just? I mean, was she so bad that he couldn't just give it a little nudge and get her?
No, she was leaning right up against it.
Okay.
Like there was no budging it. So and he had to cut it and like. I just remember, like, you know, here's Dad with this thing, and I'm just imagining Grandma on the other side of this fucking saw blade going above her head. Ah!
From her view, it looks like fucking
it's like
The Shining.
Yeah, or like the fucking ending of any, like, Batman episode from back in the day, where there's a slow saw blade, you know?
Yeah.
Will our handicapped grandmother make it out of this one? Tune in next week. Yeah, dude,
That's funny.
all this stuff kind of fucks with you, though, you know?
Yeah.
In a way, especially when you're young like that.
Well, yeah, look at how you turned out.
Yeah, a mess. And like my mother, like, you know, God bless her, my mother took care of most of the fucking care of her, more so, and it wasn't even her mom, it was my father's mom. But you know, she always looked at it where, like, and I try to have the same mentality. She was like, it used to drive me crazy too. She's like, but I loved your father, and that's your father's mom. Like, I got it, you know.
Yeah.
And it was the right thing to do, you know. So even though it was, but like that was, it was from that age until about 13 when she passed. And when she passed away, it was I was the one to find her. Basically, there's not a whole, like, you know, this isn't that big of a story because there's not a whole lot to say. There's just mom and dad. Grandma was up and watching her fucking shows in her bedroom, and mom and dad were going out to dinner. I was like 13.
Right.
They're like, you know, I was good enough to
stay home alone.
Yeah, I was just
smoking a little pot.
No, I wasn't doing any of that yet. Fucking shoving my dick in every orifice of that goddamn house, though.
Come here, mattress. You looking good tonight.
Oh. I know that we've kind of like shunned Louis C.K., but we had the one where he's like, if you have a teenage son, he's like just sitting there with a weird boner, like closing the refrigerator door on it just softly because the cold feels good. And I was like, oh my god. You couldn't be more accurate. So anyway, usually if she needed something, she'd holler. You'd hear her.
Hey, Joe.
John.
Wait a second. Were you Joe or John?
I was Joe. Dad was John.
Right. Okay.
So, and you know, she had medications that she had to take, like, you know, like 3-4 times a day, whatever. But they had like a pill thing. It was all laid out, and mom would be
Monday,
like,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mom
Thursday.
would be like, all right, hey, around like this time, you know, give these to, you know, make a glass iced tea for your grandmother and make sure she takes these.
Yeah, give these to the old lady in the chair in the living room.
No, she was in her bed in the bedroom.
Okay.
You know, I've been playing video games, whatever. For all I know, she's sleeping. I don't know. She wasn't making any noise. I wasn't checking on her, so I go in there to take the meds, and like she looks like she's sleeping, and I'm like, Grandma, and like no response. And I'm like, Grandma, and no response. And I go over, and I remember the one thing out of it I'll never ever forget is touching her.
She's cold.
Wow. That's fucking shocking shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I was, and like, you know, you were, because we were talking about this before. You were like, oh, what did you do? I didn't call 911 or anything. The first thing I did was just call my fucking. I think my parents just had gotten like the very first versions of like a cell phone.
Right.
Which that sounds about right. I think I was about 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it was a Verizon fucking thing, like it was like a size of like a brick, and it was heavy as fuck, and there was no text messaging. All it did was make phone calls.
Right.
It was one little green screen, like a portable
like the old
phone.
It was a StarTAC, Motorola StarTAC.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Flip phone.
No, it wasn't even a flip.
Oh, it wasn't even
no,
a flip? Oh.
It was a big dumb fucking hunk of shit. But anyway, I just called them, like, basically losing my mind. Like, I don't really like remember all like the details, but basically they just came home. I guess they called 911, and you know the people came and got her. But I don't know. And then after like that, then my dad got sick, and my mother was busy taking care of him until he fucking passed. And like, God bless my mom, but I just don't. It's not that I'm too selfish. I just always felt bad for her because like I always felt like she missed out on a lot of life just being taking care of people, and like that was just what she did. I'm just not wired that way. I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like my mentality has changed a lot with a lot of this stuff. Even like after, I'm not gonna get all into that, but after when mom passed, like, yo, this shit, like you can take care of yourself and do all the right things and all that kind of stuff, and still you fucking croak tomorrow.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is like, that's why I push so hard with this band stuff. It's like, yeah, it's I enjoy doing it, but it's something I've always wanted to do, and to me, it's like really awesome because it's like each one's like an experience, it's an adventure, another story to tell, like just something to make your life a little more interesting. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That's why like I just find like the whole. Like I was talking about dullards, like, you know, having like, oh, well, let's get the house and let's have and I know like this isn't a jab at you, but like, you know, let's get the house and have a kid and, you know, have to do all the normal humdrum bullshit that everybody else does. And I just find that like terrifying. It just sounds like miserable. But I also feel like you have a different perspective of it if it's your own child. You know what I'm saying?
And it's there's many rewarding aspects.
I'm sure, like
as well.
It's like yeah, like I'm not a fan of kids and stuff like that, but like I have enough wherewithal that like I know that if I had one, I'd probably think the world of it and spending like a little like it. I mean, sure they'll drive you fucking crazy, but like you wouldn't trade it for anything else. You know what I mean?
It's like having a pet.
Well, I already got one of them. It's kind of like my Bea. I'm very happy.
But
I'm very happy to have Bea around.
You
usually.
can't say Bea, go get Daddy's jacket.
You could if you trained her right, but
That'd take a lot of work, though.
Yeah, my dog's pretty dumb.
This way, it works because I say, go get Daddy's jacket, and I'll give you $1.
You really work it like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's no rules.
Right.
I mean, there's rules, but I mean,
And there's trade-offs. Like, we're doing soccer this year, so,
Orange slices and Capri Suns for everyone.
I know, right? It's so terrible.
Do you have to bring that kind of stuff?
I don't know yet.
I feel like, oh, can you bring stuff? And then, like, you're going to get a whole list of, well, my son has a fucking dairy and gluten and a this, that, and the other, and so it's got to be fucking these kind of snacks, and like you're just basically reduced to bringing like a box of Wheat Thins.
It's the worst.
Or something. I don't know. What's a really healthy, like, flavorless snack? I'm trying to think.
Triscuit?
Yeah, Triscuit, though. I love Triscuit, a little piece of cheese and stuff. I can get into that.
I like the Wheat Thins. I don't like
Yeah, I like
Triscuit.
Wheat Thins, too. I like both of them. But, like, I mean, I don't ever get that unless, like, my... Mom used to get it, like, get the cheese and little pieces, like fucking. I could fuck that up. What's charcuterie? How do you fucking say it? You know what I'm talking about?
Charcuterie or something. It's French.
I just learned that
French.
fucking word not maybe a year ago.
Fuck the French. They're weird anyway.
Oui, ha
ha.
Yeah, but that's my traumatic.
That's wild. I've watched somebody die. I've never found somebody dead.
I've watched them die too, but
well, that was, I think I told the story when I was doing air duct cleaning, and the lady came and she said, Mr. Darrell, this old lady, she said, I think my husband's dead, and we were like,
oh, I do remember this
do
story.
CPR and his fucking ribs are breaking and shit.
Oh yeah,
wild.
No, that's
It was wild.
But when I've seen people die, it was like in a controlled environment, like like in the hospital, like
right. Yeah.
It wasn't like, holy shit, this guy's on the floor. Does anyone know CPR? What
Everybody watched my uncle pass in the city. He had throat cancer.
Ooh.
And they all watched him take his last breath. They knew it was coming. Everybody.
Yeah, same thing with Dad. Yeah, it was basically he was.
They didn't call me. I didn't get to go over there, and I was still talking to him at the time. So that's a little depressing.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's awful, dude.
Big jovial fat guy, bright white hair. He said he wanted to see everybody give birth. So not give birth, but be there. He no longer wanted to wait to see the baby at Christmas or whatever. So he was coming to everybody. Like my sister had kids, my kid. He brought my wife Subway. He was the first one there besides me the next morning.
Yeah, dude, I don't really blame you for not talking to them motherfuckers anymore after
they don't.
that.
It's been tons of shit. Dude.
Yeah,
tons.
No, like
of
that
shit.
would make me furious. Like I just found out like my uncle passed last week, but it was like I didn't find out till like about a day or so after. But it not okay. I haven't seen him in like at least over 10 years. He kind of stopped coming around after my father passed, his brother.
Right.
I never really had much of a relationship with him, and the last time I saw him, he'd gotten really bad with Parkinson's, where he was just basically like he wasn't like shake. It was just like he was in like a wheelchair and his like hands were like kind of curled up, and he was just. It was one of those things like when I heard on Facebook, it was like bittersweet, like you know what I mean. Like last time I saw the guy, like. That's no way to live.
Right.
Like, I was like, it's kind of...
It's exactly what we're talking about, where you just don't need to be around
that and like my mother told me some stuff about his wife, and she's just not a very good person. So like we just I don't know. Even when I've gone up to Ohio, where I've been visiting all the other family members and stuff, they haven't been around.
Right.
Like, and normally it's like, I mean, I mean, I don't know even their direct contact numbers, but like, I feel like I make it pretty apparent when I'm coming up there, you know, usually like, cause like, you know, if I'm coming up to visit, normally like, you know, my sister had the one house, she would call like all the family up around there. Hey, he's coming to visit, you know, come to the house. We're going to have a cookout, whatever, you know, cause everyone just wants to celebrate me. No, but, well, no, it's just cause I'm up in town. You know, we
I've got so much clout. I'm going to judge a music competition or some shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's a battle of the bands.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's fuck. When is that? Like March 24th, I think. It's a battle of the bands at Baltimore Soundstage. I got asked by the guy who's the promoter and to be a judge on it. I don't know what.
You gotta judge it, Judge Deakins.
I don't know what made him just think that I'm qualified enough to judge these other bands.
You're not qualified to judge bands. You've been in a band for a year.
I know. And he started a messenger group of all of the other people who are going to be the judges. And like every one of them, like he's like, hey, just so we can get to know everybody better. He's like, just say tell in the group something about yourself and like, you know, the music scene, whatever.
You said I do a podcast?
I don't think I mentioned that.
Way to spread the news.
I've told Leon, this is the guy Leon, I've told him that I have a podcast. I would like to have him on here once because I don't know him very well. I think he's Turkish or something. Something along those lines. He's got an accent. He's like a
I'm kidding.
No, he's got like an accent. He's dark, real like dark black hair, darker skin. I'm not sure where he's from, but like if he was here and like his family immigrated here, like or whatever it may be, it would be an interesting story and it would be cool for the podcast. But normally I just see him in a show. We talk about music and like it just never gets brought up in conversation, you know, just because whatever. But yeah, he asked me to be that, and like everyone's messenger, like, oh, I've been in the fucking music scene. I've been in like 6 bands and booking bands for like 15 years, and then there's me. Like, I haven't done any. Like, I've
toured the entire East Coast. I've toured out west. Matt says I toured Fishhead Cantina.
None of them have like actually toured. Honestly, Leon, the one putting it out, has probably done the most.
So how many judges are there in this thing?
I think like 4. I think.
And you were one of 4 people selected.
Yep.
Out of how many thousands of bands?
I don't know what I don't know if there was even that or if it was just a convenience thing because me and Leon talk on a regular basis anyway. Like, you know, because like he books me with shows and stuff, blah blah blah. And it could have been just one of those things like, oh, hey, Matt would be a good one. You know, he knows that I'm like loud, outspoken.
Yeah.
And that I'm just a judge, and like he sent me a picture of like the piece of paper that we're gonna be like filling out to judge each band. The thing is I played with a lot of these bands,
right?
And I know a lot of these guys.
And you're gonna have to.
I know, right?
Fuck off.
I'm like, is this stay anonymous? Because like I have a feeling like it's gonna come down to like, you know, 2 gunning for the first place position, and one of them is going to be one of the bands that I'm cool with, and they're going to lose via something I
proxy
did.
through you.
Yeah, and then there's going to be so much hatred in the room. There's prizes. I don't even fucking know what they are.
Well,
I just remember he said they're very valuable prizes for a band, and like that made me think like, oh god, it's probably just like $50 gift certificate at fucking Guitar Center.
Let's start judging podcasts. We'll start with.
No.
We already did Ricky. It sucks.
We can't.
We Inspired 2 now. Others May Fall has a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Like, Brian
He was talking about it when he was here.
Yeah.
Do you think he ever listened to another episode?
Of ours?
Yeah. Zippy.
I doubt it, honestly.
Zippy
I listened to the first episode of his, but I can't critique much because like I think about like just shut up, Matt. Like, you know, think about how your own podcast is sometimes. However, his story, like, it was a lot of just jabbering back and forth between the 3 of them.
Right.
He did go into a story about Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy and going with his father to the Civic Center to see them like wrestle.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was a kid. You know, the kids were in Hulk Hogan. He's like, my father, who's older and kind of like, you know, is more have a wherewithal, like pro wrestling.
Right.
Hated Hulk Hogan because he always won. And King Kong Bundy had a thing where like he'd beat the shit out of people and then he'd go to pin them and he would say, no, count to 5. You know, instead of counting to 3,
Right.
Just as a way to like be a cocky asshole.
Oh,
And-
right. Because
Well, and it worked on all the jobbers and stuff, like the people he would just squash.
Right.
But then, of course, he's Hulk Hogan, and like he said, he goes to pin him, and he tells the ref, count to 5, and he's like, I just remember my father going, no, you're blowing it. Like, and then, of course, like it goes to 4, and then the fucking comes down.
Well, they
Hulk Hogan
always-
pops up and starts hulking up and beats his ass all over the place.
yeah. You know what I'd like to hear a story about? Listen up, Brian. I'd like to hear a story about that one time you came on this little podcast called Here for the Insults.
Dude, hey, don't be aggressive towards the motherfucker.
I liked Brian.
Yeah, he said he would like to come back on, and then I said I
And then we've never heard from him again.
no, that just was recently. I just haven't nailed it down. He lives a hike from here.
I know, Southern Maryland. It's crazy. It is crazy for somebody to drive that far to come and do a podcast.
Yeah, I had both of you guys like round, fucking spending 3 hours on the fucking road to come and sit in my basement and talk.
So you want to do mailbag to break it up before the
Sure.
music stuff? All right. We did get a mailbag.
Yeah, and Brian said I should come down and do his as well. He's got a bunch of ideas.
Glad he invited you and not the show. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I'm the man with the connections. You wouldn't fucking go anyway.
you're goddamn right.
Yeah,
I
like
I'll call in.
No, ain't nobody trying to listen. You call in.
Anyway, so it's not that new, but this is a giant slap in the face. Susie wrote in again.
Why is this a slap in the face? Because it was Susie?
She gave me an episode number because we basically chastised her for not talking about T-shirts. So before I read what she has to say, I'm going to play a little snip from our Christmas effort show. Listen here.
And I do. I mean, how did you contact me?
Facebook.
Through Facebook. I'd say honestly, probably 80% of my customers now are through someone
Messenger.
saying like, "Hey, you know, my friend's got this company. You know, he has a printing shop, whatever. Here's his name," and then it comes through my personal.
All right. Well,
So-
we're going to get some stickers made, and we're also going to, you know what? Let us know if you'd be willing to buy a T-shirt. We're not trying to make money. Clearly, we've never made money for over a year. But if
I
you
am.
think about it, if you want to buy a T-shirt, but you got to send us an email at mailbag@herefortheinsults.com. So that she did exactly what we told her to do.
Yeah.
So now I have to take all of that back. I'm sorry. She said, she actually says, Sean says, and then she quotes it. She says, I was just following instructions. And she said, by the way, great job. Subject line, Christmas effort, episode 56, 4926.
She wrote it down to the fucking
all
minute.
down, yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
How do you think I had that ready at the right time? I was
thought
just
you dug it up
following
yourself.
instructions. I was not advised to tell you about my day, include pictures of my cats, or review the podcast. I was told to send an email stating if I would wear a T-shirt, so that is all I did. Way too many exclamation points. Just because you don't remember what you said doesn't make me wrong. Who is the doofus now? Probably still me. I'm cool with that. No, you are not
Who
the
called
doofus.
her a doofus? Was that me?
I don't know.
I might have. But it wasn't because of the T-shirts. It was just because of how brief and like I was like, because it was like, yay, T-shirts, I'd buy one or something like that.
Well, she said,
but
I love T-shirts. I'd buy and wear one. Yay, Susie.
Yeah, I was just. It wasn't like a.
But we were being dicks
email.
because we thought we didn't remember saying anything about T-shirts. But
Yeah.
clearly we did say
Yeah,
something about
yeah.
T-shirts. So we are collectively sorry. And
I'm not apologizing for anything. You should be the one that says you're sorry.
she's a much better friend than your other one who doesn't listen to this at all.
Susie is, honestly, Susie's probably my best friend, honestly. Like, Susie's just the best. Like, really. I can't say any, like, I could bust her chops about that email, but the only reason I said it, I backed it up with, she's very well-spoken and well-written. You're better than this email.
Right.
Because the email was just that, and I'm like, Susie, I know you're smart. Like, this sounds like just some email that we got from, like, some Jim Bob motherfucker.
Better than your other friend who acted like she's never heard of Rap Snacks before.
Because she hasn't. Because she's never listened to the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And she's never came to see any of my concerts either.
Terrible.
Yeah. After she said, like, she was going to.
Terrible.
I paid her to fucking trim my dog's. I don't know if she's trimmed Bea's nails now, come to think of it. I don't know. She's too busy.
It's terrible.
She's too like all of her Facebook is like every post is like it's 3 paragraphs this time. Okay, I'm not reading it. Scroll. Like I'm like. And like a lot of it, like I've made fun of her because she's like, oh my God, I was leaving the city today and there was a hobo and his fucking whole ass was hanging out. And I just responded the one day like, oh, city people, I'm a white suburban lady. I can't deal with it. And like, just because I was like, what are you shocked by? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, there's goofballs up there, but there's also a very large, higher concentration of people. Yeah. So, like, when I lived in Herondale, we had a fucking goober that lived around the fucking corner.
I'm sure there's goobers that live around here.
I avoid them at all costs.
Like the plague.
Yeah.
So, again, we apologize to Susie. We did mention T-shirts, but fuck off. We're not buying T-shirts. We still got 200 stickers that
we haven't picked up. Susie and me went and had dinner the other night. Actually, I hadn't seen her in a while. We went to Crabtown.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, we went to Crabtown and I just remember we ate. I have to keep in mind that she has a newborn.
Crabtown and then Pound Town?
No. No. I have to keep in mind that she has like a newborn, you know, and like a home life to get to.
Yeah.
So we ate, you know, hung out. Like, I started drinking a beer. Like, she didn't drink any alcohol. And then, like, you know, I go over to the quarter machine. We're going to go play, like, pinball and stuff for a minute. And, like, you know, I cash in, like, $10 worth of fucking quarters. And I think she, like, broke, like, $1 because she went out there. She played, like, 2 rounds of pinball. I was like, all right, I'm going. And I'm like, and I have this big, giant cup of quarters still. I'm like, all right. So I just stayed there and just played pinball.
Start throwing quarters at people.
No, I played, there was a KISS pinball machine that was a lot of fun. I was playing the shit.
Oh, yeah, you like pinball?
It's all right.
There's a Deadpool pinball game by me. We can't talk about this.
No, I'm not trying to get into pinball. No.
Because there's somebody I know that's into pinball now, and if we talk about it, it's really bad.
Who?
My,
Never mind.
Right, yeah. It's a radio guy.
Oh.
It would be very odd and awkward if we both started talking about pinball. Not that anybody listens to this, but you know what I mean. It just feels awkward.
That's fine. I don't know enough to fucking really give 2 cents about it. I went to Crabtown and put a couple quarters in one and played it. That was about it. I'm not into it. Like fuck. Like I the thing that drives me crazy. There was a Star Wars one in there, and it flips. Like there's a little video screen. So you'll be playing, and if you're
video screen,
yeah, like on the top end of where like the top end of the pinball machine.
It's not just like a static thing with lights.
It
and
is,
stuff?
But it has a video screen in it as well. It's a newer one.
Okay.
So you'll go to certain parts, and like you hit the ball over here, and you know it'll go like get sucked into a hole, and then it'll switch you to where you got to do something with the flappers on the fucking screen. Like they're flying the Millennium Falcon through the asteroid field. It's fucking annoying.
That's way different than pinball. That I used to play would be like a scoreboard, but it was just like an analog clock with made letters in the score.
This is obviously
pinball
like
2019.
Yeah, and I guess it because also it was like 75 cents to play a round.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wasn't pinball like a quarter?
All the old machines in there are. Yeah. But whatever. I had wound up sitting there drinking and just, you know, using most of the rest of my quarters up.
By yourself?
Yeah.
What a sad existence.
What did you do? I went to fucking Crabtown. Fucking drank beer, played pinball.
Played pinball for 3 hours.
I mean, dude, I wasn't the only one. There was like this one fucking random fucking weird looking chick that was in there. And like she was just bouncing about. Because I remember like she like made like passing comments like when I'd be on like a certain machine.
Look at that big dick.
No. Yeah, right.
Put your dick away.
No. There's children here. No, like, oh yeah, I do real good on that machine. Like, you know, she's like, I'm here all the time. I'm like,
I'd tell her to go fist herself.
No. But
I don't want to be bothered.
I'm like, you're the pinball arcade bar
pinball queen.
Yeah, I'm a pinball queen of Glenburnie.
The pinball queen of Glenburnie.
She's got like a little pin on her lapel that says so, or something like a name tag, pinball queen. It's on like a decal on the back of her Cavalier,
with a different color passenger door,
or like her fucking. her tag is like PNBL. BL
QN.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. Wow, that was made a bunch of imaginary shit up.
P-ball QN.
Yeah. Listen, it was nice to see her. Suze,
The pinball queen?
no, I give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
Suze, if you ever want to go do Crabtown again sometime soon, I'm all in. I enjoy that place. The food is. I've had good stuff and I've had bad stuff there. The thing is they don't have like the corporate powerhouse of consistency.
Right.
So sometimes, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Which is, but I also kind of really hate like the corporate restaurants. I just feel like because it's just everybody's so brainwashed in some of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, if you got a food you like, at least you know you can always get it.
Yeah. The only thing that was disappointing is I got crab dip waffle fries. How awesome does that sound on paper?
That sounds pretty good.
It's fucking awful.
Really?
Yeah. It was the worst crab dip I've ever had.
I was gonna say, I mean, if you took like what's that place that's famous for their crab pretzel? Bill Bateman's.
Yeah, they're like fucking all closing.
Are they?
Well, the one in Glen Burnie's
There's
closed.
actually one of those up by me.
Oh, really? Yeah, the one, I think there's one in Severna Park still, but the one that was in Glen Burnie off Aquahart, yeah, that closed.
Off of Aquahart.
Yeah.
I only remember the one down in Severna Park.
It was like next to like where Value City and
over by Coles.
Burlington. Yeah.
That's the only one that I ever went to.
Well, you can't go to the other one anymore anyway because it ain't fucking there.
Okay. Sounds good.
It was right at the end of my fucking street when I was living in Herondale, and we never went. I actually went there once for, I can't remember what reason, but I was in there with Bob Atkinson and Matt Wisden, and we were doing Irish car bombs.
I never liked the place that much.
Nah, dude.
But they did have a good crab pretzel. I'll tell you what place I miss. I miss Rocky Run.
Yeah, Rocky Run had some good stuff, man.
They had good crab soup. They had good Caesar salads. They had good grilled chickens.
Who fucking
could pasta
Who talks
carbonara.
about a goddamn fucking restaurant and says that they have good Caesar salad?
Dude, having a good Caesar salad is good. You have to have the right dressing.
But just like of all things to describe, you know,
like
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
grilled chicken Caesar salad. Grilled.
Your fat ass going in there and ordering a fucking grilled Caesar salad.
Dude, it's one of the fattest things you can eat. That dressing and shit that they put on a Caesar salad.
And you toss the entire thing in the dressing.
Right. Anybody who says, "Oh, I got a Caesar salad," good. You're getting fatter.
Yeah, because like,
it's not healthy.
Yeah. Good point. My friend was a waitress there at one point.
Rocky Run.
Yeah, and I remember they had like an appetizer. It was like a pretzel roll with like bratwurst in it. Like sliced down the middle. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I just remember I got mad at her because she was very much aware of how much like I hate the birthday singers at wait staff at restaurants. It's the most obnoxious shit in the world. If you want to do like, I can't stop a group of people singing happy birthday, but if I'm in your establishment and you got fucking 5 waiters coming by with the clapping, no, I fucking hate you. I hate you
hold
so
on.
much.
I think I can still remember from my time at the Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, what the birthday song was?
Fried Critter Country Hall, it's your birthday, yee-haw! That's what it is.
What is going on in my fucking house? The dog's been losing her mind for like...
Fried Critter Country Hall, it's your birthday, yee-haw. That's what it was.
Well, getting to the point, she knew I hated that. And I was in there, but I was not in there for my birthday.
Right.
But my birthday was like a couple days before or like after that. I was just in there getting dinner with my girlfriend at the time. And Crystal knows that I hate that shit. So I didn't ask for it. We didn't bring it up. She just does it. And when she's coming over and they do the clap thing, their song's different though.
Yeah.
But like, I can still remember her face to this day because she was right up in the front, like aggressively, like clapping right in my face and like singing it, like bobbing her head back and forth, all like shitty. But I did get like, it was like a shot glass. It was like a shot glass full of like, cheesecake.
That's the only reason you do it is for like the free ice cream and stuff.
Yeah, it was like a shot glass of cheesecake with like a fucking candle on top of it. I mean, I didn't want any free shit. I don't ever get dessert when I go out to dinner, ever.
Right.
I just don't. By the time I get done eating my dinner, like I don't fucking want anymore.
All right. Well, let's get to your experience with Attila the Hun and all that. We said we were going to do that. Because I do not want to do a Joe Rogan podcast that's 4 hours fucking long.
Why not, you pussy?
Because you have no respect for my time and you're sleeping when I get here every morning.
That's okay.
And I have to walk down the street to my car today because my valet spot wasn't available.
I'll promise that it'll get better.
That is correct. All of the Yentas need to be parking down the street.
There was so yeah, we played our biggest show that we've ever played.
Would it have been bigger than the one that pulled out of Fishhead?
Oh, dude, leaps and bounds.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering. I don't know
the Unearthed show.
I don't know the scene.
The Unearthed show, I would have personally been more into, just because like I'm actually like really a big fan of Unearthed. All That Remains was kind of like I liked a couple of their songs, but I wasn't like huge on them. Attila, I kind of wrote off for a bunch of years because they kind of came around a generation behind me as far as like heavy stuff, and they were on Warped Tour every year, and normally Warped Tour was like more like pop punky emo-ish kind of stuff, for like younger crowd, kind of.
It's like Sum 41 and
and so like I kind of just dismissed them. I didn't even ever really listen to them.
SR 71,
but they're not like that at all. They're fucking heavier than a motherfucker. But like he does like silly shit, and he like white boy raps on it. And he
really,
oh dude, yeah. And it's the music is actually really fucking obnoxious. Like people that like them like them. People that don't like them do not like them. And I kind of
can Gore be categorized like
War.
that? Sorry, I actually did that. I did not do that on purpose that time. I just still don't understand how WAR is pronounced Gar instead of Gore.
I guess, but like I feel like Guar, like no matter like everybody that's into like heavy music at all has at least some level of respect and likes Guar to some degree,
even if it's just for the theatrics.
Even if it just because I mean they're a staple. They've been around for fucking ever doing this crazy shit. Like you gotta respect.
They're like
that.
a fucking comic book with music.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like. Anyway,
okay. But where Attila is just like it just sounds like an obnoxious. Like I mean, even the dude's like talking voice. It's way up. Yeah, man. Don't you ever disrespect our fans. And I when this show got booked, like I told the promoter, because it was within months beforehand that I remember seeing it on the all the metal websites and stuff, that there was video of Attila playing at some venue, and he loses his shit, the singer.
Yeah.
You don't see exactly what happens, but from what it sounded like, people the guys working the rail were being a little too rough with crowd surfers.
Okay.
And he loses his shit. And he was just like, fuck these bitch-ass motherfuckers. Fuck this security here. We'll fucking never goddamn play here. Don't you ever fucking disrespect our fans. He's like, you fucking bitch. And then he goes over and he punches one of the security guys in the back of the head, who's like, he's facing the rail. He's not even facing the stage. And then like throws the mic down and gets off stage. Jesus. But like there's video of it. I don't know if like they press charges. But after he booked it, I was like, hey, bro, the promoter there. I'm like, hey, did you hear about it? He's like, no, where was that? And I was like, you're bringing them in there. It's crazy heavy, and like the venue has a no mosh policy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck, I didn't know about that. And I was like,
how do so many metal bands play at Fishhead when there's a no mosh policy? I thought like moshing was standard operating procedure.
It normally is. I am total, and I respect the venue's decision to do that. I get it.
It's like injury.
But the flip side of that is like maybe you shouldn't book shows like this. But I don't want to say that either, because technically that also means that they wouldn't book me.
Yeah, you can't mess with where your bread is buttered, buddy.
So, and they're good to me, and I usually can get a lot of people to go to Fishhead because I can get a lot of people who aren't into metal. They just like Fishhead's food, and they like coming out and seeing me and having some drinks to go there. So, anyway, we'll get more into that. So, we pull up. I'll start it from the beginning. We pull up, and at Fishhead, there's like a one like gravel like parking lot right out front. There's a whole commercial like industrial park next door.
Yeah, I know.
You can have all the parking. I'm painting a picture that you can park. They have all the parking there for the bar as well. One thing that
I have a client in that industrial complex.
Oh yeah. One thing that you don't ever usually see in that gravel parking lot is 3 fucking tour buses. So for this show, there's 3 of them. There's like literally no, like that whole front lot is just eaten up by it.
And then there's a Tacoma with a trailer.
yes. There's my jabroni ass who, he was like, all right, load in for you guys is like 4.
Yeah.
So I go up there and I pull up and I see these 3 monstrous like tour buses that like have like another 2-axle trailer like attached to the back of them.
Right.
All lined up there, and they're taking up pretty much the whole lot except for like a couple spots, and like there's a huge guardrail across it. It's just this band parking only. And I just remember I pull up on it and I'm like, there's no room for me. And then I tried to go get somebody from inside just to kind of let them know that I was going to start doing this, but I never could find anyone. Everybody was running around like maniacs. So like I'm just go over there and I start moving the fucking gates myself. And Ira's with me. He's like, we supposed to do this? I said, we're one of the fucking bands, ain't we? So I just moved all the rails out and then back the trailer and the pickup in there. But it was funny because here's all these monstrous tour buses, right?
Yeah.
The first thing you fucking see coming in that parking lot is what? My truck.
Yeah.
And the trailer parked in front of all these monstrous.
Should have had a sticker or a magnet.
I know, but it was just like, oh, we know who the fucking, the J-Brones are here.
This is the band that's playing before the sun goes down.
I'm going to lose my fucking mind. What is going on? Oh.
Because this is an audio format.
I know. And,
the dog is
sorry,
barking upstairs.
I don't know what in the fuck is going on there. Like, my house this is the most chaotic Saturday. All the dog is just barking nonstop. I don't know what's going on.
Didn't she go to work already?
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Grandma's up there fucking around with a dog.
Yeah. She's fucking got like a little ramp. She's fucking jumping the dog on a fucking scooter.
She's playing like, what are those things called the Romans used to have? She's doing like chariot races with Bea on a little knee scooter board.
Yeah. Yeah. She won't stop. Oh my God. Someone's going to die. Anyway, so we park out there and which normally all that area is wide open, and typically with bands like
and it's long. It's like a quarter of a mile worth of parking.
Yeah, but like up normally where we load in at, typically we only play with smaller bands. Usually, like we have a pickup truck and trailer. The other bands that are playing might have a van and a trailer,
Right.
And we just kind of both all take turns getting the fucking thing right up there. Well, with all these fucking thing in the way, it ain't happening. So we had to hike all the shit up. And we get in. We had, of course, they had a huge stage set up and shit. We barely fit on the stage.
So you have to squeeze your stuff in and around all the
in front of all their stuff, yeah.
Wow.
Well, they had like actual like, they're part of the touring band,
right?
And like
right.
once they do the switch over, you gotta get fucked. Get the fuck out of the way,
But you have to. Do you have to mic up all your drums and stuff like that again?
When we get up there, the sound guy mics it up.
Oh, okay.
And when we break down, the other stuff's there, but he just switches.
Mic'd up.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
And then their house sound guy usually handles all that bullshit. We just got to get our shit out of the way so he can do his job.
Right.
And which I expected that. Like even when we played with Power Man, we had no stage room either.
That's a pretty big show, right?
Yeah, but not as big as this one.
Right. Okay.
There was like, I think, because also Fishhead can sell differently if it's warmer months, because that whole back patio area where they have the shows during the winter, it's closed in. They like drop it. It's like, plastic walls the whole way around. And due to fire codes, when they have shows out there during the winter, the fire code is just for that small room.
Right.
When they open it up during the summertime, they can sell
All
way
the
more
square
tickets.
footage.
Yeah,
Right.
they can sell way more tickets. But I think that that room is like meant for maybe 250, and like there was 500 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a fucking mess. However, I was like really, really, really fucking nervous going into this. That hey, doors are at 5:30. We're playing at fucking 6. Like it's a Friday too, and it was raining. I was like, there's gonna be no one here yet because people are just getting off work. Whatever, like they're just, there's gonna be nobody here until like 7 or 8 o'clock. I was super, super fucking wrong about that. We get in there, we load up all the gear. I'm already kind of like a ball of nerves once I roll up there and saw tour buses. It's like, oh fuck, this is like legit. You know what I mean? And we go in there, we sound check.
Tonight's the night.
Yeah, we go in there.
Don't miss your chance to blow.
No, I'm not getting into any sort of like. But we go in there and we set up. and we sound check, and then I have to go to the bathroom. And you have to go back into the main bar. And doors haven't opened yet. I go out there to take a piss, dude. There is a line through the bar, out the door, down the street.
You mean the artist doesn't have their own green room with a bathroom?
No, there's no backstage at Fishhead. No.
Weak sauce.
Yeah, there's nowhere to put them. I guess they just stay on the bus when they go there.
I wouldn't use the same bathroom as all those commoners.
Yeah, there isn't. Like, there's that, and then they have 2 porta potties out back. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of bougie. The only thing I can imagine is that like they met all of the money standards, so like that's what the end game is. Like they probably paid more money because like I'm sure that like a venue like a sound stage or which does have a back area or like a Ram's Head where that's normally where All That Remains would go.
Right.
Typically, I was shocked, absolutely fucking dumbfounded that it was at this venue. So I'm like really a fucking ball of nerves after I see this line of people, you know, and like doors open, dude, the whole floor is full when we go on. I mean, obviously we're the first band. Most people there didn't know us, but we had a good set.
Yeah.
I think we got like 67 new likes on our Facebook page from that.
Wow, I'd like to have that same feeling when I look at our downloads, but it never happens.
I don't know how to go out there. Like, you know, it's not like, hey, come see the live podcast tonight. You know what I mean? You have to accrue a fan base for, you know what I mean? But anyway, and then after that, honestly, I didn't see like any of the next 2 bands because like I wanted to see Attila,
right?
But I was inside. Yeah, you know, I'm a chatty guy anyway. Like I had no voice by the end of the night. It had nothing to do with me screaming on stage.
Right.
It was literally just everywhere I went, people were like, "Hey man, that was a great set," and, you know, talking to me, whatever. And I'll talk to fucking anybody. And it was just blah, 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 blah. By the end of it, I was like, I like nothing. I had a bunch of friends, like people you probably would have known were there. Ryan Dugan was there. Amanda Heron.
I remember her.
Yeah.
She rode my bus in middle school.
Yeah. Amanda's good people.
She loved Sully from Godsmack when we were in middle school.
Sully? I thought her thing was Chino.
It was Sully when we were in middle school.
Well, I know like she still posts about Chino, but like I remember like all the fucking girls back in the day thought Chino from the Deftones was
Chino
hot.
Marino.
Yeah, with his blonde spiked frosted tips.
And he's like, he's always.
I think
I like the Deftones, but some of their stuff
I can never get into
with the whining. Like I like Passenger, but that might be because Maynard's on it. I don't know. I like some, I guess.
I know you don't really listen to the Dillinger
Shove
Escape
It.
Point.
I like Shove It. My Own Summer.
Yeah.
I
get bored. I got bored. Yeah, dude, Deftones. It's kind of like I feel the same way about them as I do with Korn. I don't hate them, but I never got into them. You know, I just never got into them. There's, you know, I don't hate Korn either.
Yeah.
But I just there's never been. I tried.
You're not.
Yeah, I tried. Like I had those old albums, it just didn't do it for me.
Those are the only ones I liked. Were Korn, the second one.
Yeah, but I even had the old ones, but I just gave them to friends.
Yeah.
But let me get back on track here. So we had like no
on a leash.
I had like literally pretty much the drums right behind me, about the width, maybe a little bit wider of the tabletop of this bar was what I had going from
no
one end.
Fucking aerial spin kicks that night.
No, there was no spin kicks. There was some pacing from the left to the right. That was about it. That was about all I could pull off. But it felt good. The only other thing I could complain about though is there is right outside the one doors where they normally set merch up, and there's usually a bunch of tables, and there was no space for us.
Because who gives a fuck?
I know, but I kind of was bummed out about it because like at Power Man, for whatever reason, we didn't have a table either. But I like Gorilla sold the shit out of some shirts. Like I was like just basically on stage like, hey, if you see me, you want a shirt, hit me up. And like I had like, you know, sold like 9 t-shirts. I think I sold like fucking 2 at this show. And that was the biggest show we've ever done.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, the selling merch ain't the fucking end game. It's getting new people to fucking like the band. And we got new likes. We got people that like. This was flattering as all hell because like I'm fucking nobody.
go.
No, a stranger, some fucking woman. She posted it on our fucking page. She was just like, "You guys are She was like, "You guys are really good. Can I get a picture with you?" I was like,
"Oh no."
I was like, "Yeah," but I was like so baffled by it.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, that happened at Auto Bar too, but it was a younger kid, like a 15-year-old, and that was cool because he was he's like, "You guys are great, man. Can I get a picture with you?" Like, well, can you hear my head expanding?
Yeah, that's the fucking problem. Strokes his dick a little bit one time. He's fucking banging on his chin.
Yep.
No, that does feel good. I've been through that. I went to a baseball tournament when I was younger, and it was a pretty esteemed baseball tournament.
You're really stuck with that word.
I know.
Did you just like hear it this week or something, and you just want to keep bringing it up?
It's a crutch word. The kids that came to watch the tournament, because we were playing against teams all around the world. Like there's a Norwegian team, there's a Japanese team, there was all kinds of teams, and they actually wanted like pictures and autographs. So you're signing balls and gloves and things like that, and you're just a college baseball player. So
was it the people from other countries?
Well, the people from other countries wanted it, but also just kids from the town that we were playing the tournament in.
Well, what they're doing is they're trying to get in the underway. Like if you're in like college ball to that level, like to a high level, there's a possibility that you could go on. To
Fuck you! I just thought the kids thought it was nice.
They're trying to cash out. Like, hey,
I got you.
If you
what do you think that fucking lady was doing when she wanted to take a picture with you? Expecting you to be big one day, as if you're not already fat enough. Big fucking head. Why do you tear down my story like that?
I didn't tear it.
Oh, he's just trying to get rich in case you made a big one day.
No, that doesn't take away anything from it.
I said it felt good.
Yeah, no, and it should.
Fuck you.
It's cool.
Fucking
It's
big
cool
head.
to be made feel
fucking giant fucking head.
Yeah, it's cool to be made feel important. So
I am important.
The no mosh policy. We'll get
Right,
to it.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, it was obviously people weren't moshing.
Hour 2 of the Here for the Insults podcast.
Obviously, there wasn't really moshing going on when we were on. Everybody was headbanging and stuff, but it was early. People don't know us. Whatever. And then the next two bands after us weren't very heavy, so I was all over the place. I was inside the bar. I was out, bouncing all over the place,
chatting, fucking signing autographs,
mostly just chatting and drinking. Fuck. Ooh. Everywhere I went, people just, I run into friends. Here, good. I was so fucking drunk by the end of it. I had to drive a truck back. Like I got back and I was like, yeah, we got to get right out of here. And Heather just looks at me. Maybe someone should drive your truck. And I was like, that's probably a good idea. And she's like, yeah, I looked at you. And she's like, I could just see your eyes were pretty glossy.
Yeah, that would have been a ride. The fucking trailer fucking wobbling.
Yeah, and like and Ira was right up the street. And I was like, Ira, can you drive? He's like, yeah. He's like, I had like 6 beers, but we've been here since 5 in the afternoon. This was like midnight. So Attila goes on, right? First words out of that motherfucker's mouth. Fuck this place and their bullshit rules. I want to see a fucking huge fucking pit right now. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my. I was like, oh my. And like, at first the bouncers like were around and then they got just pretty much leveled by the pit and then they backed off. I saw people get kicked out that night. I only saw one that seemed like it might have been like a bullshit like mosh policy thing that he got thrown out for. The other people that I saw them take out were like, they were holding these motherfuckers up. They were so drunk. Right. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, they were probably fucking shit hammered out of their minds and, being a fucking dick. So like, the pit hits, it was just fucking hilarious. And like he just kept going on and on and on about it. They had people crowd surf. There was no fucking guardrail people to catch them. And then like next thing you know, they crowd surf and there's 2 chicks up on stage and then they're diving off.
Oh God!
And I'm like, this is awesome. And I was like, because my whole thing I liked about it, I was like, Attila has a much of a name where they could say, oh, yeah, fuck them. What are you gonna do? Kick me out? Like,
I don't ever want to fucking play this place again anyway.
Yeah, they're like, because I mean, it's not like we don't have options. You know what I mean? So
we did you a favor, motherfucker.
Like, yeah, but it's like part of me always wishes like that's exactly what I want to say when I get up there, but I don't want to ruffle feathers.
You'd never be invited back. They'd say we don't fucking need you, Jack.
I know.
Kick the fucking rocks.
Yeah. So, that and then all that remains played. It was just nuts to butt in there. Like I had some friends that were like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't come," and I'm like, "Dude, these are some friends that aren't like really into that kind of shit."
Right.
And I'm like, you would have been hating life. Like, you like coming out to the local show because, like, there's people there, but you can still got move around, and you can still pull up a seat at the bar. And there was none of that. It was like a fight to get to the fucking bar. Like, it was just so cram-packed in there. At one point, it's just like those like thick vinyl, like plastic walls that they pull down. They're like, it's like, like thick tent material.
Yeah.
That I guess they pulled one of them open just to like help with the swelling of all the people in there. Because I was actually right outside there because like I still watch the show and smoke a cigarette and shit. The only thing, it was raining, and I was like right underneath the drip edge of like the roof, dude. That one picture that the girl fucking took with me, like I looked like I just got out of a rainstorm, but it's probably because I just did. Like, it poured all fucking night.
It sounds harrowing.
It was a good fucking time, man. I had a great fucking time. It was a good show. I didn't really know what to expect of it, but hey, it was a good time. I was glad I was asked. I would do it again. We have a show. So
how long before we can get a Here for the Insult sticker in the Fish Head bathroom?
Next time we play there.
Okay.
May 12th.
Can we get them on some guitar cases and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Cool.
May 12th, I'll put. We're playing there, opening for Metal Church, which I've heard of them. I don't really know a whole lot about them because it's like an old head thing.
Metal Church.
Yeah, that's the name of the band.
Ira will be happy.
Yeah. Him and Mike are the reason we took this show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're the old motherfuckers.
Lord Almighty.
No. No, dude, he's like way up higher. Like, they had like one of their songs that like I want like just listening to them on Spotify.
That hurt my throat.
I was listening to them on Spotify, and like they had a cover of Highway Star. I think
Highway to Hell?
No, the song Highway Star.
Highway to Heaven.
I think it's by Deep Purple. I don't.
Deep Purple.
I'm probably wrong.
Dun.
Ain't nobody gonna take my girl. Gonna bend it down. I need it. All right. Oh, tight. I'm your highway star. No, not ringing a bell.
Nothing.
Anyway, yeah, they have a cover of that, and like they're like more like Iron Maiden sounding, but not as good. Like,
Clearly, they're playing Fish Head.
Yeah, and fucking Iron Maiden's playing Jiffy Lube live, like for 20,000 people.
That's impressive.
I just told him, I was like, hey, take the show. We're gonna have to sell tickets, but guess what? It's on you, bitches.
Oh, so you're not going to help the bandmates now that they decided to take a show? That's fucked up.
No, I'll help, but I'm just saying, I know for a fact, just when I like kind of hit some people up, all the people I know don't know anything about this band. Don't see so that's what I'm basically saying.
So it's more like, don't expect me to fill the place like I always do.
I was like, you guys want to take this show, man. You guys are going to have to, because I was offered another one with some goofy British new wave of heavy metal from the 80s that no one's ever heard of, to open up for a band called Clovenhoof. And I passed on it because I never fucking heard of them, and it was Thursday night at Angels Rock Bar.
Angels, they're big though, aren't they?
Angels? It would have been a new venue. That'd be the only like upswing of it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think Angels Rock Bar is a pretty big deal.
No, it's just another club. They don't even do big time shows there.
I mean, 98 Rock used to have shows there.
Yeah, but that would be like little local stuff. Like up there in the power plant, the biggest spot is Ram's Head.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Angels Rock Bar is not going to be housing the shows that they would have.
Is there a venue that you would love to play? Like, it would be a dream to play?
930 Club, DC. But, like, I mean, it's not like you're not getting in there.
Unless you know somebody.
It would take more than that. It's not like they have a locals night. You would basically have, the only way, let's say, because they don't even book that much metal there anymore. Like, I would have to be called upon from, like, Guar to open for them to get on the stage there.
Yeah,
good luck on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
they just
I
had
was wondering.
Beefcake just quit. Jameson Land. He wasn't the first Beefcake. He was, like, the third. But, yeah, he just left the band. Said he was just going to focus on his driving job. I guess he's got like a tractor hero license. I think he's just, it didn't sound like there was any drama or anything like that. It just sounds like, I think that he just doesn't want to do like the whole touring bit. I think he's got a kid now. I think he just wants to have like more of a steady home life. And I'm sure like even being in Guar, with Guar being a name, the machine makes enough money to keep the machine going, but I don't know how that the machine makes enough money to really make you really financially well set.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're probably getting by and they're doing okay, but like, you know, I'm sure that they, you know, this is also, you know, you're doing something like that. You don't have like health insurance through a company and all kinds of shit, you know?
Right.
But it sounds like an older Beefcake, the guy that used to be Beefcake before Jameson, is going to come back. He was Casey Orr, and he posted a picture, and it was just of his old bass and like a rag. And he was like, it was clean to the naked eye. He's like, but after I cleaned it all a little deeper, he's like, it's still bleeding the blood of gods, is what it said. And it's still, because there was still a little bit of like pink.
Right.
And I guess it's just from the spray on the strings and stuff, like during the shows. So it sounds like Casey. I like Casey. You give a shit. I prefer.
Nope, I don't.
Casey Orr was better anyway. And I booked a show out of the state on April 12th.
What state are you traveling to?
Delaware. Bar 13 in Wilmington, Delaware. We'll be there April 12th. Boy,
That sounds terrible.
yeah, you know Wayne's World, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that part where like we're in Texas, little round him up, buckaroo, and then it's like, oh, we're in Hawaii, oh, come on, and then there's just like a pile of dirt behind them. They're like, we're in Delaware, and that's like it. So I need to find that snippet, and like whenever there's a official show event page made, like I'm definitely like posting that with it, which is like we're in Delaware. So.
All right, well,
Put a fucking fork in it. I'm done.
sounds like it was a good time.
Thanks for tuning in.
Get our stickers.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. You can hit us up. Mailbag here from theinsults.com if you feel like it. And we'll be back next week. I really don't have much else to say.
Me neither.
I'm about shut down, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Toodles. We'll catch you next time.
Fuck off.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?